Hi, it's Wednesday night. 今日星期三啦，which means language exchange and free salsa class in Medellin。咁喺麥德林呢個地方咧，就係逢星期三就可以去參加呢個免費嘅語言交流同埋免費嘅跳舞班啦，咁樣樣。Tomorrow night as well。其實聽晚都係嘅，星期四晚都係。So I went out，咁所以我就出咗去啦 ，and then I had this language exchange， 咁我就有語言交流啦。It was just so tonight for the language exchange part。咁今晚呢個語言交流就麻麻地啦 ，because there were like a couple of Colombians， 咁佢有幾個哥倫比亞人啦。They wanted to practice English， 咁佢哋想要練習英文啦。咁 it doesn't matter，like usually it's like that，you know，they speak in English，I speak in Spanish，right？But then there are also like few gringos， 咁但係都有幾個係即係美國嚟嘅人啦，係啦，咁唔係淨係老外嘅，即係有美國嚟嘅華人嘅咁幾個都講西班牙文講得唔係幾咩，就變晒講英文，即係唔係好講啦，總之即係講英文啦咁。So there are other people at my table. They don't feel comfortable speaking in Spanish, even though they were supposed to be learning Spanish. And so we ended up only speaking a lot of English. I did speak Spanish， 咁我都有講西班牙文嘅 ，but it's just not as fun。咁但係即係冇咁開心咯 ，because everybody is speaking in English, you know, you're the only person who's speaking in Spanish 。即係個個喺度講英文，跟住得你一個講西班牙文咁，and then I can't really practice listening 咁又冇得練即係聽啦咁。I mean sometimes they do spoke a little bit of Spanish, but the people were just kind of like there is nothing to talk about, you know, like 咁但係成班人好似冇嘢傾咁咯，so it was a little bit embarrassed， 有啲尷尬咁樣。But anyway, and then afterwards the dance bit was actually really fun tonight 度。咁但係咧今晚跳舞係超開心嘅。Because like there were not too many people， 咁因為唔係太多人啦，所以佢 actually have space， 咁你就有空間啦 ，and then you can actually see the instructor， 咁又可以見到個老師啦。But it actually didn't matter tonight because they were teaching all these basic things that I've already known。咁但係今晚都唔係好重要，因為佢都係教全部都係嗰啲基礎嘢，我已經學晒㗎啦，嗰啲基礎我識㗎啦，咁樣咯。But what made it really fun tonight？ 但係今晚最好玩咧就係most of the partners that I had， 咁就係即係有跳舞佢哋換轉 partner 啦咁。most of them were quite good， 咁佢哋都即係幾個 partner 都跳得幾好啦咁樣樣 ，and they knew how to lead， 咁同埋佢哋就識得即係點樣帶啦咁樣。Because like salsa, like it's always like the man who actually do the leading and then you follow the cue, right？ 咁因為即係拉丁舞佢哋好多時候即係特別即係個男人去帶啦，即係佢揈你啊、轉你啊、轉步啊咁樣樣。So and when it's like that, it's actually easier for me。咁但係即係如果佢識得帶嘅時候咧，對我嚟講係簡單啲嘅 ，because I'm not very good in counting 因為我拍子其實係渣嘅，即係我數係難嘅。咁如果對方係好嘅話咧，咁我就會即係跳得輕鬆啲。Because when the man is good, then I will actually be more relaxed and it will be easier for me, you know, like I can just, you know, feel his rhythm and I can I dance better like this. So anyway，it was super fun， 咁超好玩啦 ，and I was so sweaty now， 咁跟住超流晒汗啦咁樣樣。So I'm going to go again tomorrow， 咁梗係聽晚又繼續啦咁樣樣。So hopefully the language exchange part will be better tomorrow night。咁希望語言交流嘅部分會好啲啦，聽晚咁樣樣。So right, let's get to the reading， 咁我哋就正式開始。Read to resist, day 348。當閱讀也是抗爭，第348日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Carroll。香港簡史，從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立偉。As the war turned against Japan's favor, however, by early 1943, the Colonial Office resolved to retain Hong Kong after the war. The Colonial Office became particularly optimistic in February 1944, when Li Shufan, a prominent Chinese surgeon who had made his way to London, assured the Colonial Office and the Foreign Office that most members of the Chinese upper classes would prefer British rule to Chinese rule after the war. That summer, the Hong Kong Planning Unit was established under Frank Smith, the former colonial secretary. After 1944, the unit was led by David McDougall, a Hong Kong cadet who had escaped during the Japanese occupation. By mid-1945, Winston Churchill realized that Chiang Kai-shek would not try to recover Hong Kong without support from the United States, which now considered continuation of the British Empire vital to its own interests in the post-war world. As victory became imminent, in the summer of 1945, the Hong Kong Planning Unit and the China Association, a powerful lobby representing British business interests in China, began to consider various proposals for constitutional reform, among them giving a greater role to local Chinese. Churchill now declared that Hong Kong would be removed from the British Empire over my dead body. 但是隨着日本戰況失利，到了1943年初，殖民地部決定在戰後保住香港。1944年2月，著名華人外科醫生李樹芬前往倫敦，向殖民地部和外交官保證，上層華人大多寧願香港在戰後繼續由英國人統治，而不想由中國接管。這尤其令殖民地部感到樂觀。那年夏天，香港計劃小組成立，由前副政司史美 Norman Lockhart Smith 擔任組長。1944年後，這小組改由麥道高 David McDougall 領導。麥道高是香港官學生，日佔時期逃離香港。到1945年中，丘吉爾很清楚，蔣介石如沒有美國支持，是沒法收回香港。而美國現時的想法是，大英帝國繼續存在，對美國在戰後世界的利益十分關鍵。在1945年夏天盟軍勝利在望之際，香港計劃小組和中國協會這個代表在英國在華商利益的強大遊說團體，開始審視不同的政制改革方案，包括更加重用本地華人。丘吉爾現在宣布想把香港從大英帝國手上拿走，我誓死不從。So this is the end of today's reading。咁今日就係讀到呢度啦。Over my dead body 又聽到呢個 dead body 嘅呢句説話咧，又有啲感慨啦咁樣嘅。Anyway, so I find it really interesting。我覺得其實好有趣嘅，即係 where like the Chinese upper class would prefer to stay under British rule。就係即係講緊即係當時即係華人嘅即係呢一個嘅佢哋嘅呢個上流社會就係即係寧願繼續喺英國管治，都唔想即係俾翻中國接管啦咁樣樣。And this also reminded us like the first migration wave in Hong Kong. Just before the handover of Hong Kong back to of Hong Kong sovereignty to China， 咁呢個都係即係大家諗翻起就係即係80-90年代嘅時候第一波嘅移民潮，即係亦都係基於好多人唔想就係即係主權移交之後就係變成即係中國嘅呢一個統治啦咁樣樣。And of course right now again， 咁當然而家即係就更加嚴重啦，即係係啦成件事咁樣樣。Which makes me think like I don't know, like it's just like it's such a I don't know how to put it, like let's put it this way, like ever since I've been out of Hong Kong， 咁不如咁講啦，即係自從我離開咗香港，I find it really hard to explain to people about the sentiments of Hong Kong people towards colonialism by the British。我覺得好難去同外國人解釋香港人對於即係英國殖民統治嘅嗰一種嘅情感係乜嘢 ，because it's a fact that the majority of us like really prefers to be under British rule， 因為係即係呢個係事實嚟嘅。我覺得即使係藍絲都好啦，其實暗啞底每一個人心裏面咧都係寧願同埋即係都係會偏好係繼續係英國統治。Especially like towards the end of British rule， 咁尤其是即係去到末代嘅時候啦，即係去到殖民時代嘅末期嘅時候咧 ，I don't think like Hong Kong people actually care about politics that much. You know, like they don't think they have the need to do it. 我覺得即係香港人嗰個心態係乜嘢？就係當係殖民管治嘅時候，其實佢哋冇咁覺得自己需要去關注政治或者政制。Because Hong Kong was such a well-oiled machine， 因為其實香港已經係一個即係運作得好順暢嘅一個機器嚟嘅，基本上揾錢嘅機器。So everybody was just like trying to make a living and earn money, make a lot of money， 就係揾錢，and then go out and travel and then come back and work again， 然後就去旅行玩晒佢，跟住又再翻嚟。It's really hedonistic actually， 係好享樂主義嘅香港人其實。So but then like when China's rule began， 但係即係當中國即係開始統治香港嘅時候，You just find yourself have to be really alert about what is going on。你就會發現原來你其實係真係好需要好警覺到底呢個政府做緊啲乜嘢 ，because if not overnight you could have lost everything。因為係真係稍一唔留神，你就可以即係一夜之間就係變天，然後你就乜嘢都冇晒。Which is the characteristic of an authoritarian regime， 咁亦都係即係就係威權政府、極權政府佢哋嘅其中一個特色啦，即係個重要特色啦。Because they do not want you to feel safe， 因為佢唔想你覺得安全嘅，佢唔想你覺得穩定嘅。Which is a contrary to their propaganda 度。咁但係都係佢哋即係一個矛盾嘅位，就係佢哋去宣揚所謂繁榮穩定，但係其實佢唔想你覺得穩定。So they propaganda about like stability of the society, but they don't want you to feel stable. They don't want you to feel so secure. They want you to be on edge. 佢哋需要你咧係長期都係即係好緊張、好繃緊，要左顧右盼，同埋好擔心會唔會俾人舉報啊咁樣樣。Because it's only under this atmosphere you would be controlled by them. 因為只有咁樣嘅狀態，你先至會受到佢控制。So yeah, it's just really hard， 所以係好難即係去講。But right now for me, I am always also trying to explain like for us right now is genuinely colonization。但係即係我會同解釋就係、其實而家嘅香港先係真正好感受到嗰種俾人殖民嘅感覺。So of course, it was also true when the British just arrived in Hong Kong。當然即係英國佬啱到香港嘅時候，一樣都係即係都係咁撲街，即係都係有做呢啲嘢，即係都係一樣令到我哋嘅上一代有受嘅苦啦咁樣樣。Like the generation back then did suffer from it, right? But I think that right now is also what I want to say is just like when Chinese or the Chinese Communist Party emphasize on the idea of like Hong Kong has always belonged to China and like they are legitimate government. I'm just trying to say like they are not ruling like a legitimate government. 咁我想講嘅可能就係即係佢哋成日都強調自古以嚟即係香港係中國一部分乜乜七咁。但係其實佢哋嗰個手法基本上就係唔係當我哋係自己人啦，即係咁樣樣。So it's like the killing of our culture, the killing of our language, and the oppression and the suppression of like freedom and expression and everything, and taking away things from us. All this is just like it's a crime. 咁基本上佢哋而家做嘅所有都係犯，即係都係犯罪嚟。我覺得即係根本就係 屠殺緊我哋嘅文化、我哋嘅語言，同埋就係搶奪緊我哋嘅嘢啦，係咪？佢基本上打劫咗大家嘅 MPF 啦，咁樣樣，即係都唔好講即係自由啊，其他嘢啊，即係當然即係一路都係即係全部嘢都冇晒啦，咁樣樣嘅權利啊各樣啊咁。Yeah, so but tonight one of the persons that is on my table at the language exchange, who is from Venezuela. 咁今晚有個委內瑞拉人啦，即係喺語言交流嘅時候同一張台啦咁。He was actually trying to explain to a Colombian， 佢咧就幫我手對同一個哥倫比亞人咧去解釋啦，就係即係 Hong Kong is independent， 即係佢話香港其實係獨立㗎咁樣樣。So it's just really 我真係好開心。Like when I'm out here and when I explain I'm from Hong Kong and Hong Kong is not China, and then occasionally you have people who understand it, and it was really it's just something that really makes my day， 係會令到我好即係好 high 嘅，即係當你出到嚟去同人講，即係你香港你同即係香港唔係中國啊咁，然後有人唔明啦，係好 high 嘅 ，because especially in Latin America， 尤其是喺拉丁美洲咧 they're very intoxicated by the Chinese culture actually， 因為佢哋其實係好受到中國大陸佢哋嗰啲文化影響 ，because they all use like a lot of people use 華為 or Xiaomi， 咁因為佢哋好多人係用華為用小米嘅 ，because they are cheaper，right？ 因為佢哋平啦 ，and all the apps and everything they use TikTok and everything，you know， 咁佢哋又用 TikTok 啊，佢哋又用，因為個機又會跟咗佢哋啲 app 啊 ，so they have a lot of like connection with like China and they are reading Chinese news and everything， 同埋佢哋會睇即係中國大陸啲新聞啊，即係咁樣樣啦 ，because everything comes with the apps within the mobile phone， 因為所有佢哋嗰啲嘢都係跟埋個電話一齊入，即係出㗎嘛咁樣樣 ，so that's how China is actually gaining ground and dominating countries like this。咁所以其實係即係中國點解喺即係呢啲國家喺好多呢啲國家佢會咁受歡迎，或者即係大家咁即係會覺得佢哋好勁咧，就係因為其實佢哋全部人用緊佢哋嘅電話，然後用緊佢哋啲 app 睇緊佢哋嗰啲新聞，佢哋啲大外宣。So I think this is also something that is like that we have to be aware of it. Like you know, this is how they are actually doing their propaganda right now. 咁其實佢哋嘅大外宣係咁做啊，就係佢賣佢個電話出去嘅時候係已經植入咗佢哋嗰啲咁樣嘅假消息啊咁樣樣。So anyway, this is it for today。今日就嚟到呢度啦，聽日再見，see you again tomorrow。拜拜。